Hello and thank you for joining. In today's presentation, we'll explore insights to support Rockbuster Stealth's 2020 strategy. We'll start with the core focus areas that shaped our findings. This analysis was guided by a clear BI mission to provide data-driven insights that support Rockbuster's 2020 strategy. We began with a set of strategic questions from the executive board, and to make those findings actionable, we grouped them into 4 core themes. Number 1, who are our customers? Number 2, where is the money coming from? Number 3, which films drive or lose value? And finally, number 4, what actions should we take? With those themes guiding our approach, the next slide offers a brief preview of the key insights that shaped our recommendations. Before we dive into the full analysis, here's a quick executive summary of what we uncovered. Our customers are globally distributed, but half of Rockbuster's top 10 revenue markets are in Asia, which suggests long-term growth potential in the region. Small markets like Reunion and Belarus generate more revenue per customer than larger ones like the United States and China, revealing untapped premium potential. Also, genre preferences vary by region, with sports, animation, and sci-fi consistently leading in revenue across top markets, while thriller genres lag behind. Finally, rental activity is heavily concentrated around a handful of titles, indicating we may be overinvesting in films with limited engagement and could improve margins by streamlining the catalog. Each of these findings will be explored in more depth throughout the presentation, along with strategic opportunities to act on them. Let's start by answering the first guiding question. Who are our customers and where are they located? Before we dive deeper into revenue and content performance, let's look at a snapshot of Rockbuster's overall rental behavior. The average film length is just under 2 hours, and the average rental lasts a little over 5 days. Typically, customers pay around $2.98 per rental, and the average replacement cost for a film in the catalog is around $19.98. These figures provide helpful context, particularly when we are assessing content profitability later on. For example, a film generating less than $3 in total revenue might not even cover its licensing or storage costs. This chart shows where our largest customer bases are located. India, China, and the United States lead in total customers, followed by Japan and Mexico. What really stands out is that half of our top 10 markets are in the Asia-Pacific region, including Indonesia and the Philippines, highlighting APAC as a key growth engine for Rockbuster. But volume isn't the whole story, and we'll see next more customers doesn't always mean more value. So if customer count doesn't always reflect customer value, the real question becomes, which markets are actually driving our bottom line? This view shifts our focus to show the full picture of where Rockbuster's revenue is coming from. The top 10 countries collectively account for 51.9% of total revenue, with the top 5 contributing 34.4%. That means that just a handful of markets are driving the majority of our income, making them critical to protect and grow. But there's more nuance here. Markets like India, China, and the United States are not just large. They're also top contributors in total dollars. But volume doesn't always equal efficiency. Some of these high revenue markets also have the lowest revenue per customer. This map takes a different angle. Instead of total revenue, it shows average revenue per customer by country. What's surprising here is that smaller markets like Reunion, Belarus, and Algeria deliver higher spend per user than some of our largest markets. For example, customers in Reunion generate nearly 50% more revenue per person than those in Canada. This opens up a key insight. While we often focus on high-volume markets, there's real value in targeting premium strategies in countries with high revenue per customer, such as upsells, loyalty programs, or premium pricing. It also reminds us that value doesn't always come from scale alone. Some of our best opportunities may be hiding in smaller but highly engaged markets. Preferred genres are another major driver of revenue. This chart highlights which ones perform best across our highest earning countries, revealing clear patterns. Sports leads in India, the US, and Mexico, with India alone delivering over $46,000 per genre country combo and strong results across the others. In China and the Philippines, animation performs strongly with less market saturation, making it a smart candidate for licensing or expansion. In markets like Japan, newer titles are top performers while sci-fi leads in Russia. What this tells us is that genre preferences aren't just cultural, they're revenue drivers. If we align our content strategy to match local demand, we can drive more revenue per market. This insight gives us 3 levers. Invest in proven genres where demand is strong, streamline licensing in targeted markets, and avoid spreading content investment too thin across underperforming categories. Now we turn from genre to individual titles and ask which films are actually delivering value. This scatter plot maps rental volume against total revenue for every title in the catalog. It reveals 4 clear quadrants. In the top right, we have high rent, high revenue titles. These represent 31% of the catalog and as our strongest performers should be prioritized and promoted. The bottom left, on the other hand, is completely the opposite. Low rent, low revenue, and accounts for 41% of the titles. These titles are cluttering the library without generating meaningful returns and may warrant a closer look to determine whether they still earn their place in the catalog. In the top left, we see high rent but low revenue titles, making up 16% of the catalog, which may indicate pricing is too aggressive. And in the bottom right, 12% of titles are low rent but still generate strong revenue and are potential candidates for price optimization. This view helps us think more critically about how we categorize, price, and promote individual films, not just entire genres. You'll be able to explore this quadrant view more directly in the Tableau dashboard, making it easier to filter and deep dive into specific titles or segments. Let's take a look at a sample of the 5 highest and 5 lowest revenue-generating films across the Rockbuster catalog. At the top, Wife Turn, Innocent Usual, and Zora Arc stand out, each earning over $4,000, with Wife Turn alone generating more than $6,000 in total revenue. On the other end, films like Duffel Apocalypse, Freedom Cleopatra, and Rebel Airport each brought in under $1,000 despite being available in the catalog. What's most important here is that these low performers aren't just underwhelming. They're likely consuming storage, promotional space, and licensing costs without delivering value. These extremes give us a clearer sense of which titles to double down on and which to potentially retire or replace. And while we do see genre patterns emerge, with comedy and documentary appearing at both ends, the data reminds us that performance is driven by more than just category. It's the title level nuance that really matters. Stepping back from specific titles, this slide zooms out to show which genres are driving revenue and where we may be underinvesting. Sports, sci-fi, and animation are consistently the top revenue drivers across markets. These are genres that show broad appeal and reliable ROI, making them ideal for future investment. Music and travel generate significantly lower total revenue. That could be due to limited catalog availability or more niche audience interest. These areas may warrant further analysis before we allocate more resources. One standout here is Thriller, which earned just over $55 from a single film. That likely reflects a content gap, not a lack of demand. So rather than eliminating the category, this might be an opportunity to expand strategically. Overall, this chart helps us prioritize our catalog based on proven performance and identify areas for growth. We've explored the patterns in customer behavior, revenue, and content. Now it's time to translate those findings into strategic opportunities. Based on what the data reveals by region, individual title, and genre, we've identified 5 strategic moves Rockbuster can take to maximize revenue, improve ROI, and align with audience demand. Number 1, grow both high value and high volume markets. For markets like Reunion, Turkey, and the UK, revenue per customer is high, making them ideal for premium strategies like loyalty tiers or upselling. In markets like India, China, Japan, Mexico, and the US, which make up half of our top 10, we should continue expanding. These regions offer immediate scale and long-term strategic growth. Number 2, prioritize genres that consistently drive revenue. That means investing further in sports, animation, and sci-fi, which show broad appeal and strong returns across countries. Number 3, reevaluate underperforming genres. Thriller, music, and travel contribute minimal revenue, in some cases due to a lack of content. These areas may need either expansion or repositioning. Number 4, tailor execution by market. Apply premium pricing and loyalty offers in high-value regions and use bundling or regional promotions to optimize ROI in high-volume markets. And number 5, maximize high-performing titles. Films like Telegraph Voyage and Zorro Arc are proven winners and may be strong candidates for sequels, spin-offs, or targeted campaigns. Together, these strategies give us a roadmap for growing revenue, improving content ROI, and aligning our catalog with what audiences actually want, by country, by title, and by genre. For a deeper look into the insights we discussed, I've included here a link to the interactive Tableau dashboard. You can explore trends by country, genre, or title, and filter based on what matters most to you. If you'd like a walkthrough of the dashboard or have specific questions about the data, please feel free to reach out to me. That brings us to the end of our session today. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to your input.